Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfany. So we're going to get into an article right here about Ripple thrashing the SEC once again. Ripple just pummeling, ground and pounding the SEC. Once again, they have another victory. We're going to get into that in one moment. But before we get into that, I want to tackle something, okay? And I see this, I just sat in the Twitter space, and I don't really sit in Twitter spaces that much, right? I mean, I have a lot of business to conduct throughout the day, but I sat in Twitter space for Stellar, okay? Listen to what they had to say. They were talking about stable coins. I'm reading documents, PDFs from the IMF about stable coins. I'm reading documents from the BIS about stable coins. Listen. You do know that there's a liquidity, they've had liquidity problems and liquidity crisis because of how they've handled their cash, right? Handled their money, right? The value that the banks retain, they've had a problem because they don't seem to have a great idea of, you know, let me not lend out more than my customers could possibly need all at one time. Hence why there's been so many bank runs, right? Okay, then that's not to take into account also that their security is absolutely horrible. But let's go back to the stable coins for a minute, because I just want to get this out of the way. Aside from the positives of stable coins like driving up blockchain traffic, possibly things like that, stable coins are pretty much digital cash. They're pegged, right? If we're talking about USDC, 1-to-1, they're backed by the dollar. Correct? Right. Okay. The banks have been having problems with the dollar, with bank runs and liquidity issues of a myriad of kinds, especially during war times. And as you just saw, and then also when they have political strife, as we also recently saw, all of these things just happen. They have a liquidity issue because they have been lending out their dollars and have more money lent out and more money out there in the world than they have on hand to give their customers. If everybody came to the bank at the same time and said, hey, we want our money, they can't give it to you. They'd have to shut their doors. They have to turn off their ATMs, whatever it is, because of a liquidity crisis. Okay, why would anybody think that stable coins, which are pretty much digital cash, would not suffer the same fate, would not bring the same issues? Hence, you have liquidity tokens, XRP. Okay, we're just going to take XRP for now. XRP. And if other entities are wise and smart, XLM. Liquidity, because they can be used for liquidity. See, Ripple already has the infrastructure set up to say, hey, we have our on-demand liquidity. We're going to provide you with infrastructure. You need liquidity is what I'm saying, though. So you're either going to go with XRP or XLM. It's one of the two. Which one? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I'm not here to give you a guarantee. There's no guarantees here. Everything is risky here. It's up to you to do your own research. It's up to you to make your own decisions. It's up to you to know when you want to buy and sell. That's not what we do here on this channel. I don't give that to you. But liquidity is an issue here. They cannot get around it. That's what's going to make liquidity tokens so delicious to the banks, is liquidity. They solved that problem that they can't get around. Stable coins don't do that. They don't do that. Listen, stable coins are digital cash, right? So let's go back around to that one more time to really drive in that understanding. If everybody pulls their stable coins out of those banks all at the same time, just like they would do cash, if everybody pulls their stable coins out of that bank at the same time, they're going to have the same liquidity crisis, because if you can't possibly think the banks are going to stop lending out your money, right? They're not. So any stablecoin that they're in association with, they will be conscripting a large amount of that and issuing loans and credit of different kinds. They're going to still be using your money. That's what banks do. And they haven't changed yet. This is why they had to be bailed out. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on this, right? Maybe I'm looking at all of this wrong. But they have a liquidity issue that is a part of their system because of the way that they operate. They can't get around liquidity. So circling back around to Ripple, this is why on-demand liquidity is going to explode. This is why they literally need XRP. Literally need XRP. The bank coins, when you're talking about liquidity. So, okay, I'm gonna also pair this. Bear with me, because I have a million thoughts. This is how my mind works. All of these things are coming at the same time. This is what I do. The talk of volatility has to be negated when you're talking about the bank coins, because a part of that liquidity, a part of that proof of liquidity is the volatility. It shows that even retail is interested putting their money in, right? And that how fast that liquidity pool can rise. It is proof of that, right? So now you think about, you see these little pops in price, that little tiny money. You see that, and then just imagine interbank payments going into the liquidity pool. Imagine that. And how fast it would rise, how fast that price would rise. Just think about that for a moment. I know you've been watching the charts. You've been doing your homework, haven't you? Just imagine. So it's a proof of that idea that the liquidity pool will rise extremely fast, and that's important. Why? Because if ever there's a bank run or there's some type of liquidity crisis, right? The banks need to know that the anchors who can support the banks or whatever when it comes to liquidity, whether it's fellow banks or other non-banking financial institutions that choose to put into the liquidity pool, because pretty much at this time, pretty much any big money, it seems, Ripple is willing to do a business with any of these big money institutions that can add to that liquidity pool, which, like I said, is going to raise that XRP price up. XRP price is going to explode. That's not a joke. That is not a joke, because it has to. It has to. It doesn't have a choice based upon what its necessary function, its essential function is, which is liquidity. But it shows the banks that at any time they have liquidity. It is literally on demand liquidity. Literally, that's not just a title. Take it serious. So they can be rescued. It's like a rescue boat for them. They can always lean on demand liquidity, which means what? The banks can lend out more money than they don't have to even really care. They don't have to worry about a bank run because there's always money to give to you, which is great for their customers. I will say that. It's also great for their customers, which means what? In order to ensure they have that rescue boat, they have to raise that price up as high as they possibly can. That's just logical. Maybe, and I'll say this, because of human error. And I see this with some of the foundations right now. There's some human error going on, in my humble opinion, but not when it comes to Ripple. But because of human error, sure, something could go wrong. This is why there's always unknown variables. You have to prepare for unknown variables. You have to prepare for things that are unseen. Be adjustable, be ready to move, and be adjustable in life. That's just how it is in life. So banks have to be that way as well. But sure, human error could make something go wrong. But to negate that human error, I would envision that wise individuals in the banking industry will raise that price up in the liquidity pool as high as possible, so that even with human error, it doesn't make a difference. There's so much money in the liquidity pool, they never have to worry again. And that means they're going to be saving more money, making more money, being able to lend more money. That means more power for them. They literally gain in every possible way when we're talking about the liquidity of XRP. They literally gain in every possible way. Let's get into this article here. I wanted to just clear that up because there's a lot of people that are afraid of stable coins and they have nothing to fear. They don't do what the liquidity tokens do. They don't do what XRP does, and they don't do what XLM does. They don't. Let's get into this article now. Ripple, this is on u.today. Head over to u.today and give this a read, okay? But then before I read this, I want to say this because I put up a video the other day about Algorand, and it was something like it was a great title. I come up with great titles to make sure people are interested. It gets their mind sparked. You say, man, this looks like it may be a good video, and watch. But all of it is true when I put my titles out. It was something like Algorand, the king coin, will be crowned, right? And so a lot of people want XRP to be the king. And I want to float I'm a realist, okay? In the world, when has there been one king? When has there been one king in reality? Never, never. There isn't going to be one king. They're all rulers. They're all great coins. They're all great protocol. When we're talking about the bank coins, you make your money. Stop focusing on the finger pointing at the moon and look at the moon. You're looking at the finger. You're going to miss all that heavenly glory. Don't look at the finger. They're all get to the money. They're all going to do well. They're all very different. Some of the bank coins accelerate in smart contracts, Hedera, Algorand. Some of them excel in liquidity, XRP, XLM. They're all going to do great and at different levels and at different prices. So you have to be realistic, but that your sell prices are up to you, of course. I don't give you those type of things here. I just share my opinion and a little bit of the things that I find. Research. That's it. Do your own research. But there are many kings in the world, always simultaneously. In ancient times, there were kings in Europe, kings in Africa, emperors, which are pretty much kings in Asia, chiefs and things like that in the Americas. They're all kings. Multiples of kings in Europe, multiples of kings in Africa. There's always multiples of kings. So if that's the way reality is, then it has to extend to crypto as well. There isn't going to be one king. But if you have that mentality, you're going to lose out on some money. You might say, well, I'm putting all my money into just XRP. That's cool if that's what you want to do, but I don't share that same view. Sure, I'm going to have a healthy serving of XRP, but I'm also going to diversify. You have to get money from the top to bottom, from the sides. You should be getting money from everywhere. And there's going to be multiples of winners when it comes to the bank coins. I don't know about those other coins. I don't talk about what I don't know about. But yeah, I had some subscribers like, I thought you said XRP. XRP is a king. Algorand is a king. They are the best of the best at what they do, and they do different things. You have to do your research to understand that. They do different things. And right now, overall, we're talking about who's the best overall. And I adjust my thinking, by the way. I adjust my thinking. So just because a team is doing great now doesn't mean they're going to do great next month. They're people. They're humans. They might mess up. They might start to get lazy. And I've seen that in some of the different teams get a little bit lazy. Okay. Algorand is not one of them. They've done the most. They've done the most. So overall, I'm going to say Algorand is the best. That could change. Ripple, that doesn't mean that XRP isn't great. Ripple is doing a fantastic job as well. They're different. They're different. All right. And you see how Algorand easily explodes in price? They're going to go parabolic easily. They already did. People made tons of money last year with Algorand. They bought Algorand for a very low amount last year when we first started talking about it. Made a ton of money. They're going to make a lot of money again. XRP, same thing. People been holding XRP. Some people already got rich off of XRP. And XRP price is people bought it on the low as of recent with this mass correction that we've been experiencing. Well, up until recent, now you got a little bit of green. But people are going to... XRP's price is going to explode, I think, beyond what most people think, and they're going to make a lot of money as well. There's going to be multiples of winners. I don't do tribalism. I'm not a maximalist at all. I'm a money maker. I make money. That's what I do. Give you an example. Like, listen, you have to be able to get in and out of these things. Do your own research. When I did my own research on Zilliqa, right, last year, I mentioned Zilliqa like once or twice. Then I didn't say anything about it again because people didn't like Zilliqa. I hate Zilliqa. They were coming into the comment section. So then, it was like 2 months ago, I made a post when Zilliqa announced about the metaverse. And then I made a simple post. It didn't have any words on it. It just showed Zilliqa in the information they put out about their metaverse offering, which I thought was amazing. And then people were like, oh, no, not Zilliqa. Zilliqa's not it. That's what they said. And I just explained to them, like, I'm only I don't tell people on this channel to buy or sell. That you have the wrong channel. I don't do that here. I know some channels do that. They give you buy signals and sell. I don't do that here. That's not what I do, okay? I'm a humble researcher. And a lot of the time lately, I'm just sharing my opinion. But it's opinion based on the research that I've done. But anyway, so I told people it looks like their metaverse project is pretty good. And now we're 2 months, 2 months away from that time period. Look at what Zilliqa's been doing. People have been taking amazing profit off of Zilliqa. They bought it for super low. They've been taking great profit and it exploded in price. You have to do your own research or else you won't know those particular things. No one can tell you, and don't wait on anyone to come to you and say, you should buy this, buy that. By that time, it's too late. It's too late. This is why people lose money. By the time you get in, you're buying at the top. You have to be careful. Be careful with your money. And I don't recommend, you can do what you want. I don't recommend being a maximalist. Or a tribalist. Because then you want to park your money somewhere. To me, that's dangerous. I'm staying on the tip of my toes. I don't trust any of these teams, organizations. I have respect for a lot of them. But when we're talking about money, I have to pay attention. What is your team doing? What are they active? Are they working hard? Are they working hard? Are they out there trying to make new partnerships, new deals? Are they talking about their protocol? Are they putting their protocol at the forefront? Are they hanging out too much on Twitter? Are they hanging out too much in the Discord? Or do they want to be YouTube superstars? I have a problem with that. You have to pay attention so you know. So if someone starts to do something wrong, you can move your money around. If this protocol is not doing something good for you, move your money around. Listen. Life can change rapidly. I take life very seriously. You never know if you're going to be around tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to be around the next year. There's people going through struggles. So you move your money accordingly and worry about yourself. Do what's best for you and your family. So if you feel like you have to take profit, you take profit. If you feel like you got to move your money from this protocol to that protocol, then you might want to do that, because nobody is guaranteed to be alive tomorrow. And so don't wait on other people. They said that I shouldn't invest in XRP, or I should invest in XRP. It doesn't matter what they say. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You have to take that power into your own hands. Live with no regrets. You won't have any regrets if you make decisions for yourself. You decide when you're going to buy or sell. That's what I think, just covering a bevy of topics that have come up as of recent, but do your own research, take the power into your own hands. Let's get into this article here. Ripple scores one more victory against the SEC. According to a recent tweet by defense lawyer James K. Fallon, Ripple has scored another small victory by getting an extension of time to respond to the SEC regarding redactions it made during meetings with third parties. The regulator is expected to produce the redacted documents to be assessed by Ripple lawyers today, March 30th. Ripple's legal team will give its response on April 4th. So now we have a date. There you have it. We have another date to look forward to, and so we can keep up to date and abreast of the situation. So there you have it. Another victory by Ripple. I told you this judge seems very favorable, very rational, and I'm trying to prepare as much as I'm over preparing. When and if, I'm going to say if. I don't like guarantees because you never know what's going to happen. This is the real world. But if we have that victory, if that were to occur, and Ripple defeats the SEC in any possible way, that price is, you already know it, it's going to raise. And simultaneously, XLM's price is going to raise. That's what I've paid attention to over the years happening. XLM's price seems to rise when Ripple's price, Ripple, sorry about that, my apologies. When XRP's price rises, XLM's does as well. Just protect your money at all times and know what you're into. Do your own research and make your own decisions. Don't lean on anybody to hold responsibility for you. Have responsibility for yourself. But let's continue on here. We have a few more things. So I wanted to cover this little tidbit here. This is also on U.Today. Top cryptocurrencies enter correction. Here are 3 reasons why. Let's just take a little bit of a look here. It says, following a significant shift in the sentiment on the cryptocurrency market, the biggest cryptocurrencies on the market entered an active correction phase, losing up to 5% of their value. And here are the potential reasons behind it. It says, usually the first reason behind each short-term correction after the strong pump of the market is oversaturation of the market. Whenever conditions on the market become pleasurable, traders become more active with more purchasing power flowing into the market. As time goes by, the balance between asks and bids breaks down. I like this. This is why I wanted to read this. This little part is important. I think there's a lot of newcomers into crypto. They were never even in the stock market, so they don't have these experiences. So this is good information. As time goes by, the balance between asks and bids breaks down, which causes volatility spikes. Once liquidity drops and some selling pressure appears, most assets lose part of their value before growing again. In addition to technical oversaturation, traders become less psychologically stable and tend to take profits earlier than necessary. This is what I was trying to explain a moment ago. This is what I was trying to and let me tell you something. I expect the same thing to happen with XRP. But XRP, they have so many banks right now ready to go. They're going to be less affected by it than, let's say, like XLM, who has to rely on companies like IBM. If IBM is successful, there's no guarantees in life. Or LightNet, right? XRP has banks ready to go right now. So it'll be less affected by the volatility of people who want to sell at $8 to $10. They're selling, I'm telling you now, $8 to $10. And they're probably not going to wait on that. Some people have so much XRP. So much XRP. When it gets to $6, I expect a dip. Okay? You're going to have people that's going to be chopping a little bit of money off the top as it goes up. Also keep that in mind. So as it rises, they're going to take a little bit out, to take a little bit of profit, rise a little bit more, take a little bit of profit. You have people like that. They don't just take it in chunks. They're going to take a little bit at $3, a little bit at $5, a little bit at $8. And there's going to be a lot of people doing that. And then also there's a lot of big money that was on the sidelines. As soon as XRP has clarity, Ripple has clarity, or not clarity, but rather they win an SEC case. A lot of big money is going to come in. So then they're going to be chopping some off too. So I do expect some dips, but I don't expect it to last as long. We'll see. I could be completely wrong, but I don't expect it to last as long, especially knowing what XRP can do right now, not like in the future, right now. So that's a little bit different than like other liquidity tokens. Let's just say it that way, right? Where theirs is more hinged on the future, and they're more, the success of those protocols is a little bit more hinged on external entities other than their actual foundation. Though, and I have to say that because the actual foundations of other liquidity tokens is not naming the banks that came to them. They just keep saying that. Like banks have been coming to us, and we've been dealing with banks. They even said that in their Twitter space today, right? So. I mean, for those of you who actually listen, but they're not naming them. They're not saying like, okay, they're ready to go right now. So other liquidity tokens is more, they're actual long holds, while XRP at any moment, it could go off. It could go off. You know, a similar token like, not token, my apologies. A similar banking coin to that is like Algorand, where we're talking about how it could just take off like a rocket. Algorand can take off right now. Like there's any day, Algorand can go off. Because it has so many partnerships, because it has so much interest, because it has so much backing, because their team put in so much work, it could go off any day. So yes, Algorand is a long hold, but you can see that parabolic run faster than most. So ones that can take off like a rocket, in my opinion, right now, because of the work that they put in, XRP can take off like a rocket right now. And as a result of XRP taking off, of course, XLM will have liftoff as well. But XLM is more hinged on, like I said, external entities like IBM, LightNet, and such like that. So it's a waiting game to see how they're going to be using the protocol and to what extent. There's a bit of a waiting game. That's much more of a true long hold, okay? If you're going to be long holding that's up to you, okay? I'm not telling you to long hold XLM. Keep in mind, it doesn't matter to me whether you buy or sell. You have to do your own research, and I promote making your own decisions. But so you're going to have liftoff of XLM also in conjunction with XRP. That's usually how it happens. There's no guarantees. But Algorand can take off like that. And HBAR, I want to say that also. HBAR has good volatility at times. When the markets are doing well, HBAR has good volatility. It goes up and goes down, but it can go up very, very fast. And then, of course, do I have to even say Cello? You saw the parabolic run they had last year. Would it go from $2.50 all the way up to like $10.50? Cello can take off like a rocket. Easy, fast. So those are the ones where you got to keep your eye on them, right? And understand and prepare psychologically. This is why I'm putting these things out there. Prepare psychologically for the road ahead. There is no easy road to big money. There isn't. But everything's going good right now. Everything's going good right now. It's looking great. But I like how they put that in additional to technical oversaturation. They should have just said, I think they should have wrote in addition, not in additional. In addition to technical oversaturation, traders become less psychologically stable. You start to question yourself. Do I want to sell now? Should I buy some more? Then you start seeing it sort of, consolidate. When you have a lot of money on the line, big money, and you don't actually have a proxy doing the trading for you. It's actually you in front of the charts. That plays on your mind. You start to ask yourself, maybe I should take profits now. And that can work out there's no telling. There's no telling whether things are going to go. If you have a real catalyst, then yes, it can continue to go up. But most of the time, these parabolic runs that we have seen are not on real catalyst. It's not like there's regulatory clarity. There's not like there's a bank stepped in and said, we're going to flip the switch. So especially when you're dealing with stuff like that, there's no telling where after that consolidation is going to go. I know a lot of people swear by the charts, and that's perfectly fine. I do look at the charts, but I go more on the research and catalyst, all right, when I want to make big money plays. But a lot of times, because of that, many people know that there's not a proper catalyst, and so they're going to sell. They see that consolidation, and they say to themselves psychologically, this is enough. That's as far as it can go. And they take their money because they want to protect their money. They don't want to lose their money. They don't want to have it sitting in that particular protocol for the long haul because it's risky, right? So they sell. Just a protective sell. Psychologically speaking, that's how they feel. This happens all the time. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys let me know in the comment section if you see something different. But what I'm saying also is, so when you start to feel the psychology, and let me tell you something, you can feel the psychology of the environment, so to speak. The masses that are holding these protocol, go into any of those comment sections that are on the actual trading websites. I tend to prefer to look at Webull because people they're active in those comment sections. Like as things are happening, they're making comment posts, and you can read the room, right? And also, I want to say this: when you start seeing, I won't say when I start seeing a lot of people that they start, oh, diamond hands. To me, not to me, in my opinion, those are the times where it looks like they're saying that so other people will hold on as they sell, so the people don't sell first, right? That's what it looks like. It looks like a setup to me. I start seeing that a lot as soon as people start selling and it goes down. But when it's consolidating, I start seeing a lot of people diamond hands. But then there's a massive correction, right? That always happens. They try to get other people to diamond hands while they sell. Be careful of that. Be careful. Like I said, right now, in my humble opinion, you have to think for you and do what's best for you. Do not be swayed by people. You'll get set up. You'll lose money. You'll get scammed. Be careful. And so that's what I think about that. We don't always discuss things like that on the channel, but I think is getting close to that time where, yeah, people have to be very, very careful. So I've kept everybody here long enough. We did these 2 articles. I actually had a lot more. I have like 3 PDFs here. So what I'll do probably is maybe I'll go over these PDFs and just put that video in the members only section. I think that's what I'll do. So that way I don't keep you here too long. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.